Hello. Countdown. Blast off. Laser beams. Welcome to the chambers of Judge John Hodgman, where today I am ceding my gavel to your friend and my friend, the esteemed bailiff, Jesse Thorn. Hello, Jesse.
Hi,
Welcome.
John. How are you?
Welcome.
Thank you.
Now, before I take this banner off, there's a banner here that says this is a great time to visit MaximumFun.org/join. Is there ever a bad time?
Boy, I guess during the birthing process.
Right, exactly. Fair enough.
Is my first thought. Fleeing a bear would be a bad time. I'm having a hard time thinking of any others, though. So I'm going to say during the birthing process or while fleeing a bear.
There's rarely a bad time, but is there ever a best time? Like, if there were a period
I mean, I feel
of
like
the...
if I was going to pick one time to be the best time, John,
Yeah.
right now, go to MaximumFun.org/join.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I'm going to MaximumFun.org /join right now. And I have been, frankly, thrilled and astonished. We're about to cross 11,000 new and upgrading members across the network, which is really exciting, because today's episode of Judge John Hodgman that just dropped today, with a very special guest in the person of greatest podcast guest of all time and super genius and great person, Paul F. Tompkins. In this week's episode, I announced that if we hit 10,000 new and upgrading members within 24 hours of today, Jordan Morris and I are going to eat some really hot cheese on Friday live on the stream.
This is incredible. These are like ghost pepper cheeses, right?
Yeah, these are we got ghost pepper cheese, we got scorpion pepper cheese, we got Carolina Reaper cheese. It's gonna be a cheese bath, a blood cheese bath.
So Carolina Reaper cheese, that's a cheese made of a pepper discovered by a woman named Carolina?
I think it's from one of the Carolina states.
Got it.
Yeah. Anyway, we already passed that. We're gonna do it. But just because the momentum is high doesn't mean that it's a time for you to sit back. If you are not yet a member of Maximum Fun, please go to MaximumFun.org/join and consider becoming a supporting member, because after all, we can only do this because of who, Jesse? You. I'm touching your nose. Beep, beep, beep. It's a little on the nose. We got some wonderful people in the comments, Jesse. We got some people waiting in the waiting room. If you have a dispute, this is open court. Jesse and I are just going to hang out here and resolve some disputes. And Jesse, I'm going to go ahead and say this time, you're the judge.
This is a real thrill, John.
Sorry, I didn't realize that our subtitles were on there. That thing that says no, that's just from last night's trivia contest with We Got This. When Jean Grey and I lost, I refused to accept the loss, and I just said no. Let me just put this down here.
I don't have a gavel here to use,
What are you
but
gonna
I
do
do
instead?
have this oratorial prize.
Oh, nice.
This obviously signifies my gift in the field of oratory. It goes beautifully with this World's Best Dad Silver Cup
Wow.
that I earned in 2020. That was given by a jury of my peers, which is to say my mother. So I think I'm pretty well qualified to judge this thing.
Absolutely. Dan McCoy of the Flophouse is in here saying, let's hear some of this judicial wisdom, Jesse.
Yeah, Dan. Let's hear
So-
some of your signature puns.
If you have a dispute or a point of etiquette or a philosophical question or a straight up answer question, like, well, what does Jesse do all day kind of thing? Or me, if you have a question for me. If you just want to make a comment in the form of a question, the classic Comic-Con way, go to bit.ly/JJ Thorn. That's Judge J Thorn, JJ Thorn. You see it there in the banner that's going down. There it goes. bit.ly/JJ Thorn. We have Jeremy already waiting for us. Hi, Jeremy. How are you? Board IT guy.
Well, hello there. How are y'all?
Welcome to the feed. Welcome to the court of Judge Jesse Thorn.
Thank you for foregrounding your pinky ring. From now on, anybody who checks in who's wearing a pinky ring, I'm gonna want you to hold that right. Yeah, there we go.
Well, the good thing, this question is actually involving this pinky ring.
Let's see it. Let's take a nice look at it, please. Whoa.
Looks like a Masonic ring to me.
It is. My question is, this was my grandfather's.
Oh, okay.
I have no affiliation with said organization, but to honor him, I wear it. Is that okay?
I mean, I think that's going to get you off in court
Yeah.
from time to time. That's going to help you close some business deals.
Starting right now, you just got off in the court of Judge Jesse Thorn.
Well, to be fair, I have been proven right in this court once before.
Oh, yeah? Tell me.
I was the DM who would not allow the heat metal in Avernus in the D&D episode.
Keep it coming. It's coming back to me. Keep
Mr.
it coming.
McElroy.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Very good. Very good.
You know, my players were a bunch of stinkers.
Yeah. I definitely rule against your stinker players.
They don't have pinky rings.
Jeremy, where are you in the world?
I am in Texas.
Where in Texas are you?
Central Texas, Waco specifically.
Oh.
Have you ever met any of my exes? Because
how many of them live there? A lot of them, right, Jesse?
I believe more than one and less than zero.
great.
And,
Trinity from high school, she lives there. Marissa
Now-
from high school.
now I'm gonna blow your mind here, Jeremy. You said you live outside of Waco.
Or in Waco.
Oh, right. But are you in a little town called Squeaky Chair, Texas?
Actually, I currently am.
Uh-huh.
Being an IT guy does not come with WD-40, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Working for public education, there's not a lot of money for unsqueaky chairs.
Now tell me about the ring. This belonged to your dad or your granddad?
This was my grandfather's.
And what did you call him when you were growing up? Did you know him?
Yeah, Papa Wilbur
Papa Wilbur's ring.
from Luling, Texas.
Oh, and did you ever go to the Masonic Lodge with him?
I did not.
Have you ever been inside of a Masonic Lodge?
I have. The Grand Lodge for the entire state is here in town. It's a beautiful architecture.
Jeremy, you know that ring is right in front of your face. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, there we go.
We want to see your nice face. Hey, and by the way, everybody, we want to see your nice face too. Come chat with us. bit.ly/JJ Thorn, JJTHORN. Hop in that waiting room. We got a surprise guest in the waiting room now. But Jeremy, we're here to talk to you. So Papa Wilbur willed you this ring, or did you take it off his corpse?
You stole it
Sorry.
from him.
I mean,
Before he
is it
died.
really a pinky ring if it didn't come from skullduggery?
How did it come to you?
My mother gave it to me at our last Christmas gathering.
Oh, nice. What do you remember about Papa Wilbur the Mason?
Well, he was one of the ones who helped raise me, you know, coming from a lower middle class background. Your parents worked full time. Him and my grandmother ran a thrift store. So I grew up working in the back room of that thrift store, sifting through all sorts of wanted and unwanted detritus.
Ooh, what was one of the top finds? Do you remember anything in particular that you sifted through that you were like, what is this doing here?
Probably my favorite find was a antique fainting sofa.
I imagine you, when you say sift through, I imagine you a big box of like old scarves and suits, and on the bottom of it, there's an antique fainting sofa, and it's like, what the heck?
What is this?
Wow.
Here we go.
I don't think my parents will ever forgive me for bringing that one home.
I was going to say, my next question was going to be, did you ever find something that you refused to put up for sale because you wanted it?
No, I bought that fainting sofa.
Would you? What's a fainting sofa go for outside of Waco, Texas, and Squeaky Chair, Texas?
I paid $20 for it in like 2002.
And where is it now?
I think with my former roommates in San Antonio, because I gave it to them as penance for having to break lease early and
wow.
leave. So I was like, "Here, you have this very nice
What was their
chaise lounge."
what was their reaction when you said you were breaking your lease? Did they go like this? They fall
There
down
was
on that fainting
surprisingly
sofa?
little fainting. The fainting sofa had become more of a dining table at that point. There's not a lot of fainting room on it.
Interesting hack, Jeremy. Interesting hack.
You know, necessity and whatnot.
Have you asked any Masons around Squeaky Chair, Texas, or Waco, the greater Waco area, if it's
I have
wrong for you
not.
to wear that ring?
I have not, only because of being of a secret society nature, they don't always just go around advertising themselves.
Why do you think they have the rings?
Good question.
You see my eyebrow work here?
I mean, maybe if I hold it up to a flashlight, maybe it would create a. Hold on, let's see if it makes a signal here. If I just kind of. Oh God, I hear the helicopters. Never mind.
Has anyone ever commented on the ring and said that's a nice ring? Why don't you come into this? Why don't you come into this basement with me, or what? Anything like that?
Unfortunately, not. I keep hoping. I do a lot of. I'm left-handed, but I do a lot of like right-handed waves to try to catch some attention, but nothing so far.
All right, Judge Jesse, what do you think about this case?
I am a big jewelry guy myself. I'm actually not wearing any jewelry at the moment, but I'm usually a big jewelry guy. And I think that a piece with a family relationship that is that intimate is something that you most certainly could wear. I would extend that as well to military related stuff. Obviously, you wouldn't wear your family member's uniform. You wouldn't wear their stripes. But if they had a ring that they acquired after leaving the service or something like that, that would be something that would be entirely reasonable for you to wear. And I don't think that you should feel uncomfortable as though you are, if you're not for example, a vet of that branch of the service, that you should feel like you are stealing valor by wearing your grandfather's ring. So my general rule is if it's not something that could be a trick, or if it's something that has a real intimate family relationship. I know.
Yeah. In the chat, Minority Suspect says you're literally grandfathered in.
Yeah, I agree completely. John, did I ever send you a pair of AOFB cufflinks? I'd always intended to. Did I?
I don't know what AOFB is.
Okay,
Associated Order of Fine Boys.
I have a pair for you at the office. It's the Ancient Order of the Froth Blowers.
What is that?
This was a fraternal organization in the early 1900s in England that was founded in order to raise money for children's charities. And it basically, all that was required to join was you would send 5 shillings, which was about $20, $25, somewhere in that neighborhood. You would get a pair of silver cufflinks and a membership booklet, and you would also get a card. I'm reading now off of the Wikipedia, that would entitle you to blow froth from any member's beer and, quote, occasionally off non-members' beer, provided they are not looking or are of a peaceful disposition. Their mottos were ale fellow well met and lubrication in moderation. And they met regularly in pubs. And you had to wear the cufflinks always. And if you were caught not wearing the cufflinks, the senior blower was asked to give the command, "Gentlemen, shoot your linen," and everyone would throw their handkerchiefs at whoever wasn't wearing them.
Oh, there should be more secret societies.
I am misrepresenting the wrong secret society here. That's what I'm gathering.
I like your hat.
But
That's so ahead.
but I think the world is full of Masonic stuff because there were a lot more Masons, especially in the early to mid 20th century, than there are now. As the bumper sticker says, to be one, ask one. Um, but yeah, I mean, I guess the only thing I would add to that, Jeremy, is you might consider becoming a Mason or joining a different fraternal organization. They do a lot of good work. You know, it's not all skull and bonesery. There's a lot of
Excuse me.
doing stuff for charity.
I
I
have to leave
also
the room
would
now.
encourage you to watch the television show Lodge 49, which is the best. It is sadly canceled, but the absolute best television show. Loved it.
I made a very obscure Yale joke because you said the word skull and bones. I left the room. That's what,
Got it.
when members of the Skull and Bones Senior Secret Society of Yale hear the word skull and bones, they're supposed to leave the room in order to protect their identity, but it becomes pretty clear who's the member if that happens.
A good UC Santa Cruz joke is it's sort of a reverse joke. It's where someone brings up frisbee golf and then you don't laugh. You take it seriously.
I was not a member of Skull and Bones. I did have someone, a fan, 3D print me this logo of the Secret Society Book and Snake, which is an Ouroboros snake eating its own tail inside of a book.
Looks a really dumb snake.
Looks
It
like
was a
butt
really
crack,
dumb
John.
snake. That's right. You know what you're talking about, Jeremy. Jeremy, have we solved your problem for you?
You have. I really do appreciate it.
Is there any other question you might want to ask me or Jesse before we move on to our next litigant?
I believe I'm good. I appreciate you taking my question.
You know what, Jeremy? I also believe you're good.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank
Seemed
you.
good
I
to me.
believe in you, Jeremy.
We have
Now
something.
get
here
out of
that-
here.
We have something in the YouTube comments from Mar that says, my wife, and this is, we are just going straight into one of the most contentious Judge John Hodgman issues of all time. Do you remember the case where the man let his dog lick the plates before putting them into the dishwasher?
I do recall, and I was grossed out by it.
Mar says, my wife says it's gross to wash the cat food bowls in the dishwasher. It's not gross. I mean, you might find it gross. I'm not saying that you don't find it gross. I'm not going to deny your wife her feelings about whether it's gross. And, you know, I think you should respect your wife's feelings for obvious reasons. You shouldn't be making her feel gross. However, she's wrong.
Does that go
she
for-
is dead set wrong.
Does that go for both kibble and wet food? Is one grosser than the other?
That's what dishwashers are for. That's what they do. My wet food is on my plates and I put them into the dishwasher.
Yeah.
Nothing, there's no magic poison inside pets that will kill you through the dishwashing cycle.
I mean, look, you probably let your dog lick you. You probably let your cat lick you. Why, there's nothing dangerous inside their salivas. Jesse,
No.
you ever eat any dog food? You have a lot of dogs. You ever eat dog food?
I have eaten dog food, absolutely.
What was the dog food you ate? Tell me about it.
When I was a child, I'm going to say,
When I was a child, I ate dog food as a child.
I think I was about 5 years old, and we had very vivid memories of this. My mom's apartment had a sort of a pantry room, and it had a big red plastic trash can full of kibble for the dog, Sonoma, the dog. And it had kibble in it, big, this kind, big chunks.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember going in there and eating it on multiple occasions.
I've had
I
a
did
piece
not-
of cat kibble for sure.
I didn't like it. It wasn't especially good.
I remember for me, it tasted a little, I don't know, like sawdusty, I guess. It's kind of the mouth memory that I have of it. But it didn't kill me. Didn't kill me. And arguably, it made me stronger. Hey, we got an update from Mar here. They replied, the CDC replied saying that their coworker came over to ask why they were laughing so hard. And then the CDC said it really depends on how hot the dishwasher gets, so they couldn't give a blanket answer. You know what look, I'm a big supporter of the CDC. They came under a lot of fire when they were just trying to do the science as best they could. But in this particular instance,
Show some courage.
yeah, it's the CDC, not the CYA. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, it stands for cover your ass.
Yeah.
Do better, CDC. I mean,
If there-
continue doing great work. Thanks for saving us.
If there is a disease vector that is so powerful that from your dog's food, it will then stay alive on the bowl, then survive the dishwasher, then survive being left in the cabinet, then poison your food and make you ill.
Yeah.
The issue here is that you may be giving your pet the wrong food.
Could be.
It's possible that you're giving your pet the wrong food.
Check out this zinger from Alex Schmidt of Secretly Incredibly Fascinating. More
Schmitty.
like Center for Dishwasher Confusion.
Unbelievable.
But what about this? I put my kids, and this is a swear word, shitty clothes in the washer, and I never thought twice. Not the dishwasher, I hope. Not the dishwasher, I hope. Allowing pets to lick us but not wanting to do the dishes in the dishwasher. It's like not liking to find hairs in inopportune places, even though we're fine, when they're still on the loved one's heads. Thank you, Elizabeth. Yes, the problem isn't that the dishes are tainted. The problem is that your Mars spouse's mind is tainted because they know that it's in there and their mind feels infected by something, by a bad feeling. But there is no actual bad feeling.
Yeah, you got to squeeze those mind grapes.
Got to squeeze the mind grapes. Hey, we've got someone walking around in the world. Let's talk to Connie. Hey, Connie, welcome to the courtroom of Judge Jesse Thorn.
Oh my God, well, that's amazing.
Thank you very much. Connie is walking cute pups right now. Connie, you know, Get Your Pets is tomorrow. This is the court of Judge Jesse. Oh, never mind. Why should I even talk? Hold on.
Look at these guys.
Solo layout.
Yes.
Wowie zowie.
What are their names?
I get Chibi and Nico.
Say it again a little bit louder.
Chibi,
Chibi,
Nico.
Miko and Chibi. So nice to see you. Welcome. Where are you in this world?
I'm on the Central Coast, California.
Central Coast of California.
Yes, the blue sky.
And do you have a dispute or a question for Judge Jesse Thorn or bailiff for a day, John Hodgman?
I've been trying to think of one. I can't because my heart is just fluttering. But I love you guys, and I finally became a subscriber and giver of the money.
Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
becoming a member, Connie. You don't need to have a question if you just became a member.
I know.
We're grateful.
Hey, look, I mean, absolutely. Jesse Thorn is correct. Like, don't be shy. Plug in bit.ly/JJThorn into your browser, according to the thing down below, and join the conversation. You don't have to have the perfect case. You just have to have, and you don't even have to have two cute dogs or a big smiling face in Central California. It's great. We'd love to chat with you. We'd love to say hello. We'd love to say thank you for joining Maximum Fun as a member, Connie,
Oh my God.
by going to MaximumFun.org/join. That's wonderful. Well, have a good, safe walk out there, okay? Don't walk down the middle of the road.
No.
All right. Nice to see you.
Oh, I
Oh,
love you
let's
guys.
take another look at the dogs for a second.
Oh my
Oh,
gracious.
sorry. Hang on. We'll get them back. There we are. There they are. Hang on, Connie. Hold them still.
I'm saying.
Lock them down.
Lock down those pups. Oh, yes.
The cuddle puddle.
There we go. A nice cuddle puddle. Nice Max Fun Drive cuddle puddle. Thank you so much.
John in the YouTube comments asks, it is settled law that the driver gets to choose the music on a car trip. That said, my wife Judith hates Radiohead, or as she calls this award-winning band, those whiny British wankers, to such an extent that she will reach over anything or anyone and change channels when I'm driving. Yes, even for OK Computer and the Bends. Now, I don't wish to torture my lovely wife, but
hang
could
on,
I get a
hang on a
ruling?
second. Jesse, I'm sorry. John is like spamming the comments with multiple paragraphs. that's poor form. But guess what? We have John right here anyway.
Oh,
It's John Kovalik. How are you, sir? Friend of the court.
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. You're coming in hot.
I'm so sorry about this. It's Chrome. I'm not used to Chrome at all.
Okay. I mean to say that you're coming in loud.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So you can just speak at a normal tone, and I think we'll be great.
Sounds reasonable.
Now, if people don't know, John is an incredible cartoonist, the creator of Dork. Hang on, Dork Force is the podcast. Dork Tower is the cartoon. Excuse me. Correct?
Yes.
That's right. Lives in Madison, Wisconsin.
Yes.
Is a friend of mine, a friend of the show. One of the people who introduced me to the Tornado Steakhouse in Madison, Wisconsin. That's right. 2 thumbs up. Fireworks, please.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. The steakhouse that we went to 5 years after the last time you had been to the steakhouse, and the waiter remembered your order.
It was incredible. A special night for me. And I couldn't even order a martini that night. That was the sad part. But the fun part is we're all here together. So, John, explain to Judge Jesse what's going on here.
Okay. Basically, my wife is
You know what?
delightful.
It's never basically. When they start with basically, it's
And
get comfortable.
the settled law being that the driver chooses the music during a car journey.
That is true.
However, Judith violently hates Radiohead and has a very hard time controlling herself from reaching over and turning the stereo off or to a different channel or to a different whatever when I'm driving, whenever Radiohead comes on. All I'm asking for is a judgment that all she needs to do is ask as we're driving at 70 miles an hour down certain interstates instead of physically leaping over people to get to the radio before another Radiohead song comes on. I will gladly turn the channel. I understand the kind of pain that she must be in, having lived through Euro disco myself.
Can I ask a clarifying question before we throw this to Judge Jesse?
Yes.
So Judith is reaching over to manipulate the radio from the back seat, or is she sitting next to you?
Normally she'd be sitting next to me. I would definitely not put it past her to reach from the back seat.
Okay. I'm just trying to get the sense of the level of disruption here.
Yes.
Judge Jesse, what do you say?
Well, I have a sordid history with the great band Radiohead. Which is that one of my first experiences as a college radio disc jockey in the what might be called the second great peak of Radiohead, which is to say, OK Computer had just recently dropped when I was probably a sophomore or junior in college, and every white person I knew was obsessed with Radiohead. And a couple of my friends who were people of color were sort of Radiohead curious. I went on The Sound of Young America with my friends Jordan and Gene, and I said that Radiohead sounded like if you spilled a cutlery drawer down the stairs.
Wow. Wow.
And
Okay.
Did I mean this?
I think you're about to kill John Kovalik here.
Did I mean this? To some extent. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily choose to listen to Radiohead, and I had no choice about listening to Radiohead in 2001 or whatever year that was.
Yeah.
Because of its just sheer ubiquity among my snooty friends, right? I was at a college radio station. People would throw Radiohead at you physically. But, Radiohead sounds pretty. It's nice. I guess it's important too. I don't know.
You ever hear Tom Waits' cover of Everything in Its Right Place?
Thankfully, no.
Everything in its right place.
Tom night sounds like if you spilled the drawer from the workbench in the garage down the stairs. So I said this on The Sound of Young America, and the phones were lighting up to the extent they ever did on college radio in Santa Cruz, California. And we were joshing around with them. And then this woman calls, and she's just straight up yelling at us. And we're like, what's going on? And she said, my little sister is in tears, you assholes.
Whoa.
So I understand the relationship that Radiohead enthusiasts have with their favorite band.
And I have another data point, which is I've also seen a Radiohead person get very sad when David Reese made them cry for liking Radiohead. So,
I mean, I really wish everyone the best with Radiohead.
But the dumb cough crew wants to know, John, how does your spouse Judith feel about the greatest band ever, Oasis?
It's a blurry question.
All right. Goodbye,
Hey.
John. See you later.
Having
I didn't
fun.
like that at all. I didn't like that at all. John, I love you. Goodbye.
John, are you? Well,
Oh, did you want him back?
no, it's fine.
All right.
It's fine. He's gone now.
What were you going to ask? I
It
accidentally kicked him
sounded
from
like
studio.
the issue here was not that John was unwilling to take it off the stereo, but that his wife couldn't bear to listen to it for long enough to ask him to take it off the stereo.
Yeah. You got to ask.
And you got to ask. I think it's reasonable for John's wife to ask.
Yeah.
And while ultimately it is John's decision, John is in a marriage in a car. And I think it behooves him to choose one of the many other musical acts that they both like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the violent opposition is a bit too much. I don't think violence is necessary in this situation.
Never disturb the driver of a car.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, you don't have to bait your wife by playing Radiohead. Creep. Creep, get it? Here's Lauren. Hi, Lauren. How are you?
Oh, I'm okay, thank you.
Sorry, it looked like maybe you were about to drop off. Maybe take
No,
a
I
little-
wasn't.
little nap. Hey, people are in the waiting room. I've seen some people in the waiting room come and go, including LY. I don't know how to pronounce it. LY, Lee or Lie or something. Yeah, I'm. Be patient. Hang in there. We'll get to everybody. Don't worry. But now we're talking to Lauren. How are you, Lauren?
I'm doing okay this morning.
Good.
There's construction outside, but that's just how it is at the moment.
Where
Yep.
where are you in the world?
Auckland, New Zealand.
Wow. Auckland, New Zealand. Is that the capital of New Zealand?
No, our capital is Wellington, but Auckland is the most
I
populous.
should have gotten that one. Yeah, most populous. And how are the Flight of the Conchords? Still doing good? How's Brett?
I don't think so.
Okay, never mind then. Maybe there's something I don't know.
I don't think so. I tried to watch their stuff on one of our awful streaming services, and it was like wow, this is good, I guess, but they sure haven't done anything since this.
Look, before you pose your
4x3.
question to Judge Jesse Thorn, you need to know that the compliments are pouring in here in the chat. Lauren's shirt is cool, says Alex Schmidt, and I agree. Minority Suspect loves the accent, and Stacy says nice headset, Lauren.
Thank you all
So-
so much. That is very sweet.
It's all love here, so go ahead and pose your questions to bit.ly/JJ, or go ahead and log in and join the conversation at bit.ly/JJTHORN. But in the meantime, Lauren, you have a question, a query, a dispute for Judge Jesse Thorn?
Okay. Okay, so the Honorable Judge Jesse Thorn. Sometimes I house sit for my family, and when I do, I sometimes open the fridge and I find liter bottles of sauce. And for a long time, my family had a giant, liter bottle of sauce shaped like this of ranch dressing, and it was slimy and old. And I was thinking, why does anyone need this much ranch dressing? We're not ranch people. And it turns
Wait,
out they
like
got
they're
it
not
from
ranchers?
Costco. No.
Wait a
got it
minute. Do
from
you live in
Costco.
Auckland, New Zealand, or Squeaky Chair, Texas? This is not. All of these references feel very USA to me, but I'm glad to hear
Well,
it.
that's the thing. This is an incursion on glorious New Zealand.
Yes. Okay.
So
This
we
is
have
a
a
matter of
Costco
cultural
now.
autonomy.
Yeah. My ruling is you cannot go to Costco and purchase specifically 1 liter bottle of sauces that will never get used and take up too much room in the fridge and sit there for months being slimy and untouchable because they've got like accretion around the rim of the sauce lid.
Well, there's always
That
going to be
is-
accretion around the rim of the sauce lid. That's just reality. That's
Yes,
the
but
reality
it's
of
a
sauce
liter.
lids, Lauren. Lauren, what is the native sauce of New Zealand? What is the sauce that does not feel like a cultural incursion? Is there like, are people eating brown sauce or something?
We have lots of traditional sauces. Tomato sauce is probably the main sauce.
Tomato
It's
sauce.
ketchup, but kind of, because ketchup is more sugary, I've been informed. Our tomato sauce it's tart maybe, but it's not sweet like ketchup.
Mm-hmm.
So tomato sauce, that's our nation sauce.
Would
Great.
you?
Do you eat any weird hamburgers like the one that Claudio Doherty told me about in Australia that involves canned pineapple?
I do not partake of those, but they do exist. And honestly, the more common Kiwi burger ingredient is beetroot and egg. Specifically runny yolk egg.
Runny yolk egg is great. I have no problem with runny yolk egg. On,
Right.
Pineapple on
burger.
burger thing it's not really a thing here.
But the
A
beets,
hamburger with
is
an
it-
egg on is a cheval, because it's like riding a horse. There's an egg riding a horse. Anyway, go ahead, Jesse. Sorry.
Is this like a pickled beet? Is this like a sweet pickled beet?
No, it's straight from, well, maybe it's, if you're getting it on your burger, it's usually coming from a can. So
So it's
And
just
not
a regular
much more.
cooked. It's just like a regular cooked sliced beet. Like if I went and baked up a beet in a piece of aluminum foil, and then took it out and took the skin off and sliced it up and put it on top of a burger. That's what it would be.
yes.
I love it.
Stacy says, "What?
I love that for you.
What does it? What does it taste like?"
Tastes like beets.
Yeah, I guess that's right.
What do you think it tastes like?
I'm not a fan of it on burger because it stains everything.
Lauren,
Yeah,
a,
it sure
a number of
does.
people in the chat want to know: is tomato sauce the main one?
I would say yes. That or aioli.
Okay.
Aioli is aioli.
In New Zealand, the
We-
tomato sauce is the main one.
Yes.
All right, I got you.
I would say this, Lauren. I have firsthand experience with this. First of all, I'm an American, and I love ranch as much as any American does. I think ranch is a wonderful condiment. I think it tastes great. I think when Britons complain or make fun of ranch, they're just wrong. It's the reason that it was invented in like 1975 and then became the most popular sauce in the entire country 10 years later is because it's great. But I think you're right that even a relatively shelf or refrigerator stable sauce, if it's going to be in there more than 6 months or so, at that point you're headed towards gross. And I understand also this thing about having giant bottles of condiments in the fridge that are like the size of a bottle of milk. So I'm going to find in your favor. However, I'm going to suggest to your family that they do what I do, which is buy powdered ranch at Costco. Because powdered
Doesn't sound
ranch
like a bad idea.
is essentially entirely shelf stable, and
Yeah.
you can also doctor it up nicely.
You could probably
with-
put it in a airtight container.
And
Yeah.
you
Make
can
it even more self-worthy.
well at Costco the powdered ranch comes in kegs, large beer barrels full of powdered ranch.
Oh, that's even worse. I
Yeah,
hate
you gotta
that.
roll. You gotta roll them down the hallway.
Lauren, what do they sell at the food court at Costco in New Zealand?
I went there once, and I was a bit distracted by the feeling of absolute evil in the atmosphere. They sold like pizza slices, hot dogs. I don't remember if they sold fries. They sold milkshakes. And I didn't hang around long enough to actually see the whole menu. And again, it was the feeling of evil was so pervasive. We had to leave as quickly as possible. But yeah, so hot dogs, pizza, and milkshakes, as far as I could have seen.
I can understand that. Speaking as someone who is both a member of r/Costco, I recently joined r/Costco on Reddit.
Did they
I
charge
just
you
thought,
to
that
subscribe?
sounds fun. Yeah. And somebody who, as much as I love Costco, I can go about once a quarter. So when I go to Costco, I end up spending $1,500 or something.
Oh no.
Is it worth
buying
it?
one of everything. Well, I just don't want to. Like the process of dealing with the people in the Costco is too much, but buying the stuff at the Costco is a joy. So I love having that much toilet paper. I'm like Dieter from Little Dieter Needs to Fly when he lifts up the floor of his kitchen and he shows all the bags of rice because he was kidnapped by the Lao communists and starved almost to death. So he keeps hundreds of pounds of rice under his kitchen floor. That's like me, but with, I guess, just
Ranch
like
powder?
Yeah, I was gonna say water filter inserts,
I do need a new water filter insert.
dishwasher gel packs.
Get
Lauren, thank you for informing us about all these different foods. I'll tell you, if you're out there in New Zealand and all your streaming services aren't giving you Flight of the Conchords, can I recommend New Zealand rap group Avondale Bowling Club?
Avondale Bowling Club.
I haven't heard of them, which is probably disappointing, but I will check them
Fine.
out.
They're wonderful. It's a sort of jazz band with fronted by a rapper. It's a very real band, very real rapper. Really like it.
Jesse, I just want to,
Avondale
and
Bowling.
Lauren, I wanted to alert you to this incredible zing in the comments that just happened in the chat. Our friend from Reading, England, Llama says, "What do you mix powdered ranch with? Just water?" I'm fascinated. This is a genuine question. And Melee Couture says, "I mix it with the trash can." I love it. The thing
can
about
make your
powdered
garbage
ranch
worse.
is you can mix in you can decide what you mix in. You can mix in sour cream, mayonnaise, or yogurt, or as you might say, Lauren, perhaps yogurt. What do you say, yogurt or yogurt over there?
Yogurt.
Nice. I like New Zealand.
It's a nice place here.
New
We
Zealand.
we only need more houses and then we're good to go.
Yeah, well, everyone. That's the way it is everywhere. Thank you very much.
It's really bad here.
Did Judge Jesse Thorn resolve your issue?
Yes, my issue has been resolved. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Great to see you.
Lauren.
Jesse, we got Ron here. Here's Ron.
Mix it with some. If you got, I got an herb box. I got fresh chives. You can put some chives in there and some. I can make it with buttermilk or.
There's a lot you can do with
Mayo,
some
sour
powdered ranch,
cream.
with a barrel powdered ranch.
Have
Hey,
you ever
Ron.
had that?
Just with the barrel.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
That's
Ron,
not-
hold on, Ron. I'm talking to John.
Ron's
Ron,
jumping in
hold
already.
on, John.
Hold
We're
on,
talking
Ron.
ranch for a second.
Hold
here.
on, Ron. I'm gonna.
Have you ever had the famous slow cooker roast, the Mississippi pot roast, John?
No, I've heard about this though. Tell
this
us
is-
all about it.
This is a famous roast that you make in the slow cooker. The slow cooker is. I love my slow cooker. I cook. Like some people who cook are contemptuous of slow cookers, but I love stews and braises, and I love that I can leave the slow cooker running when I'm not in the house. The Mississippi roast is essentially it's essentially a pot roast. Whatever your preferred cut of beef is. I mean, you could also use pork. Somebody said that they use chicken.
Yeah, that's
sounds a little dry
multiple
to me,
Judge
but-
John Hodgman title submittor. Irony Maiden says, "I
Oh,
do
yeah.
Mississippi chicken."
Classic title submitter. So you start with that pot roast. You dump a packet of au jus mix, a packet of ranch mix, a bunch of pepperoncinis, sliced pepperoncinis, and some butter. And you just let it go. And it comes out great. I would say go light on The recipes online often involve a stick of butter and a whole packet of au jus mix. Au jus mix is mostly, you know, is mostly salt and MSG.
Yes, please.
So you can lighten up on both of those pretty nicely. You also can, like, you know, when I make it, that's like the simplest version of it, where it's like a magic trick that it comes out really tasty. I usually make it with a little less butter, and you know, I brown the meat, and sometimes I'll, you know, lightly cook some onions and garlic and throw those in there. But man, yeah, it's great. It tastes really good.
Ron, can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Liter of ranch or gallon of scallops? Pick.
A gallon of scallops.
All right. That Mississippi pot roast sounds really, really good. I'm gonna make that.
It's great. It's a real champ. And you know, I made a New York Times version of it once that involved making your own ranch.
Yeah.
It was not better.
Jesse, let me ask you a question. Liter of ranch, gallon of scallops, or 5-pound tub of Cavender's all-purpose Greek seasoning?
I've never even heard of Cavender's all-purpose Greek seasoning, but it sounds great.
This is a Greek seasoning that was introduced to me by my wife, who's a whole human being in her own right. She used to have this all the time in her house when she was a kid. And I got to tell you, this is the greatest thing I've ever... You know how I used to, in the middle of the night, go out and just eat a spoonful of mayonnaise?
Yeah.
Now I'll just eat a spoonful of Cavender's Greek seasoning.
What is the season? What does it taste like?
It's a tantalizing taste treat, as it says here. Here, you just like stacks upon stacks of it. You can only get it in massive quantities. That's part of the reason I love it. Oh, I want to get this. This apron. Can you see this? It's salt. It's pepper. It's oregano. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. It does have MSG in it, and I think that's part of the appeal.
Well, I mean, I keep MSG next to my salt. What do you call it? What do you call a salt bowl? It has a special
Salt
name.
pig.
Yeah, it's not a salt pig.
Salt
Is that
cellar?
what it's called?
Salt
cellar. I think
Salt
that's
cellar?
what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I keep a little thing of accent next to there for when I'm making a savory dish. I just I see. You can't post a link into the comments. John, I'm going to share a link directly to you, so that you can share my favorite pre-mixed spice.
Go ahead.
You know already, John, about my passion for Father's country hams.
Yes.
And I'm not a big country ham eater. I know you're, John, more of a country ham licker.
That's true. I love to lick a ham.
But I'm not a huge country ham guy, but I love a properly smoked salt cured bacon, among other things. But one of the products from Father's Country Hams that I absolutely can't get enough of is this prime rib rub. So
did you send me a link for it?
Yeah, I just put it in the private chat. It's there.
Oh, in the okay, here it is. Oh yeah, I got you. Stand by.
So if you're out there and you need bacon, or you need a country ham, they also make more traditional non-country hams as well. But their specialty is country ham. Father's Country Hams in Benton, Kentucky, I want to say.
For $7, you get 8 ounces.
Bremen, Kentucky.
After many requests that this seasoning be available to the public, Father decided, thank you, Father, to package his preferred seasoning for prime rib and steak. However, it was proven to complement all types of food, just sprinkled generously on, et cetera, et cetera. It looks delicious to me.
I'll tell you what I love to put it on, John.
Yeah.
I love to slice up a head of cauliflower.
Okay, here we go.
Slice it into thin layers, you know?
Yeah, like what they call in the Bon Appetit cauliflower steaks.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll just olive oil the shit out of them, and roast them really hot, and put a grip of that stuff on there. Whoo, boy, is that good.
Yes, roasting cauliflower is a delight. And I was looking for the person who was also recommending Tony Kasher's various seasoning mixes. Those are good too, but try that Cavender's. You know what? I'm going to send you do you want a 5-pound tub of Cavender's, Jesse? Or would you just like a 10 canister starter pack?
let's let's start with it. Do they have a like a palette? Can you send me a palette?
Yeah, I'll send you a Costco palette.
Great.
Ron,
what is
gets the
your
Patience
question for the
Award, says
court?
Irony Maiden. Thank you for your patience, Ron.
Anytime. So yeah, I've just stumbled on this. I'm a big fan. I catch the podcast all the time. I love you guys. You guys are hilarious.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ron. Ron
But
said
you
that
need-
with such conviction.
I love it.
You don't go down south, I take it.
What do you?
We've been to the ATL on multiple occasions.
Yes.
We've
Okay.
been to
Where are
Austin,
you,
Texas,
Ron?
which is probably
Well, I'm
technically
outside
the
of
American
Charleston,
West.
South Carolina right now.
We've been. Well, I'll tell you, we've been to the Old Dominion state, the Tar Heel state of North Carolina, multiple times.
Yeah.
But we have not been to Charleston. We'd love to come and play. It's a beautiful city, haunted, I dare say.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's kind of a museum these days, but yeah, it's
Mhm.
beautiful.
We have a listener who's actually in the chat right now who's been trying to get us to come to. She has an arrangement with a theater in Memphis, Tennessee. I'd like to go there. That sounds pretty
fun.
nice.
Yeah. Where would we play if we were to come to Charleston? You're a musician. You must know all the venues.
You'd probably go to like the music hall.
The music hall.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a grand old theater.
Jennifer Marmer, make a note of them. Oh. Sorry.
I didn't know when it was going to happen.
Sorry, Jennifer. Please make a note of the music hall in Charleston, South Carolina.
All right.
You know, Charleston is where Paul F. Tompkins and his wife was a whole human in her own right. Jenny Haddon Tompkins got married, and I was there.
Sounds great to me.
Whoa, is that you, Ron?
Yeah,
Who's
Really
calling?
talented musician.
it's a harmonica playing friend of mine. We're putting together a tour of Maine in June.
Oh boy, wait, yeah. Now you're really getting me because you're like you never
Hey,
come to
are you going to
Charleston,
be in
but you're going to Maine.
Bangor in June?
Bangor in June. I will not be in Bangor near Bangor till maybe the very end of June.
Oh yeah.
But what kind of music do you perform so I can tell all my friends in Maine?
Oh, we play blues.
Oh, we play blues.
Blues adjacent. Yes.
And what instrument do you play in the band?
I play guitar.
And what's your axe, Ron?
My axe?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've got a few different ones. I'll probably play a Telecaster.
Do you have an axe to grind? Do you have a dispute with someone in your band that Judge Jesse Thorn can adjudicate?
No, but I did send you guys a note about a domestic quarrel.
Go ahead, tell us about it.
Well, my partner here, she works in the house. She has her office, and I haven't been able to determine if she loves paper or hates paper.
That's not nice.
I take it that's your partner. Okay, go
Yes.
on.
Yes, and
Hi.
she
Are you geek on, Hodgman?
that is
Yes.
one and only.
Wow, how did you land this one? I'm a publicist.
Go away? It's just my dispute.
Wow.
But yeah, so the office it's mostly paper. It's like a whole bedroom size office.
Why are you talking about me?
And well, I'm trying to get Judge John to figure this.
John,
dispute
we
out.
plugged directly into an episode of the Lockhorns.
You know what things are down in Charleston, South Carolina? Spicy. Some of the food and some of the days are spicy.
Yeah, there's good food down here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. So what the problem is that her office is full of paper.
full of paper, and it's overflowing. Of course, it reaches other rooms as well. And it probably dates back to, we've been down here like 7 years.
Yeah.
And it dates back to prior to those times.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get her to be more computer centric and saving things in what we call files on said computer.
Mhm.
Why is this a topic? Why is this an angle on this interview?
Because he's a judge.
Okay.
What would you prefer what do you want us to judge here?
Well, I don't think
What do you want to
that
have happen?
I don't think any of the current paper can be turned into files. retroactively. So they've all been, deleted and printed and all of that.
I'm gonna recycle. I'm a recycler. I'm from Maine. I'm Portland, Maine.
Go away.
Ron wants me to just drop a match.
There's the house and all of that,
Yeah.
But now to moving forward is to learn how to print and save PDFs and have actually a file system on this thing that is eminently designed to coordinate and save your files.
I keep expecting Ron's wife to re-enter the frame holding a frying pan.
She doesn't like my frying pan.
Well, it burns things.
What kind of frying pan is it, Ron?
Cast iron.
Let's take a look at it.
You want to see
Oh,
that?
Mary's gonna go get the frying.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I think it's trial by frying pan.
Trial by iron.
Yeah, if your cast iron is cool, then I think we're going to find in your favor. If your cast iron is trash,
Oh, it's pretty good cast iron, I believe. I don't know. I've been debating getting more, but just having.
yeah, this is a good question. Does it burn things, or do you burn things in it?
That's the old fashioned, and this is what I like.
Yeah,
Pong.
This one is.
Oh,
This
She
is
likes one of
copper.
those ceramics.
Camp Chef.
hang on. Let me put you solo layout so I can take a look at this. So that's what Camp Chef?
Camp Chef.
I've never seen that before. That looks like a Lodge
And this one is
brand.
Kitchen Smith. It's like a coppery. I don't know.
Well, I'm sure that's a non-stick surface there.
I
What is
like
your
this one. It's
what is
like
your name? What is your name, Ron's partner and whole human
Mary
being?
Elizabeth Regan.
Mary Ellen?
Not Reagan.
Oh,
Mary what? Mary Ellen?
Elizabeth Regan.
Elizabeth Regan, not Reagan. Okay, got it.
Yes.
Say Reagan.
So what do you want Jesse Thorn to do for you? He's
Well,
the judge for today.
that's right.
I'm just facilitating.
That Mary learn how to save her files in PDFs or some other type of electronical.
I do have a
format.
lot of electronic, but I also
and
have
that's
paper.
all.
I have both.
Just
I find it
Jesse?
in favor of Elizabeth because she's more fun.
whoa.
I am less fun.
You're lucky I like you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Aw.
I don't like you right now. Why is this a topic?
Ron, are either of you a member of Maximum Fun?
Oh, not yet.
Well, this is a great time to do it. Go to MaximumFun.org/join.
I
Become
shall.
a supporting member. Thank you very much, Ron. I appreciate that. What's the name of your band?
Well, up in Maine, we'll be Poke Chop and the Other White Meats.
You change from state to state?
I changed it down here. We're in the low country, so we're the low billies down here.
Okay, fair enough. And where are you playing in Bangor?
Bangor will probably be part of the 4th of July festivities.
Oh, yeah. I won't be anywhere near there, but I'll be thinking of you.
Yeah, all right.
If you see Joel Mann up there, have a battle of the bands.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Great to see. Great. Hey, do you do a Tom Waits impersonation by any chance?
Nah, I don't do any Tom.
You got a nice voice and you got a little soul patch, so I thought maybe you did.
No, I really like Tom Waits, so.
Thank you very much. Let's talk to you more.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Jesse. It's going to be me and Ron for a while. No, all right, Ron. We'll talk to you later.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, go Bruins.
Thanks, Ron.
Thank you very much.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, go Bruins,
Which Bruins?
everybody.
Who no one knows. Ron went to buy his Telecaster at the Guitar Center,
Yeah.
and they went like this, and they said, "Grow something here and come back."
Don't talk to me until you do something at this, right? No.
It's too clear.
Hey, Robin, I don't see if your camera's on, but I'm going to put Robin on stage right now. If you have a dispute or a comment or a question for Jesse Thorn, me, Judge John, me, Bailiff of the Day, I can't even, it's so hard not to say it. Me, Bailiff for the Day, John Hodgman, or forever producer Jennifer Marmer, let us know. But here's Robin now. Hi, Robin.
Hi.
Robin.
How are you?
Hello. I'm so good. How are you?
Good, thank you very much.
Wow.
Where are you dialing in from, if I may ask?
Salt Lake City, Utah.
Oh, that's where Kate lives. Salt
Cool.
Lake City. Do you know
Yeah,
anything
you guys
about
have a lot of fans out here. You should do a show out here. That would
I
be
know, but Ron
Okay.
wants us to come down south.
right.
It's on
You
the
know,
list
well,
of maybes.
I vote Salt Lake City, and then we do the show from the Beauty Lab parking lot. Shout out Real Housewives of Salt Lake City viewers.
Why? How is it that anytime we let Jennifer on microphone, She's no interest in the topics at hand, just always just steering it to Real Housewives, just steering it to those housewives. I love it.
Robin, are you a fan of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City? Does that mean
You
anything to
know, I have not observed it. I've heard good things, you know, from people who like that sort of thing. There's a local tequila called Vita Tequila that's owned by
Lisa
one of them.
Barlow.
And it's so good that it has to be imported because the agave spirits that are made here suck because they're not real tequila, obviously. But that's pretty much my entire take on
Jennifer. I have a question for you, Robin. I want to get to your question in a moment, but Jennifer, do any of the housewives? I know you watch multiple franchises. Do any of the housewives have a signature all-purpose spice blend?
They've got candles. They've got perfume. They've got alcohol. I don't know about a spice blend.
Yeah, there's got to be a Real Housewives rub. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's not many of them that spend a lot of time
cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Robin, for that insight.
So
I
you're telling me,
appreciate
Robin, that the tequila that's made in Salt Lake City, Utah, isn't the best?
You know, our blue agave that we totally grow here just doesn't quite hit. No, yeah, I don't know. There are several that call themselves tequilas, and I just think that's not cool, you know, because it's not made in Mexico, and we gotta.
It's made in a Rocky Mountain state that was settled by a famous teetotaling religious sect.
Yes. Yep. It's made and sold in a state that doesn't like it, and that comes across, in my opinion.
I just need to report that
those soda pop drive-throughs.
Yeah,
that's right. Oh, you get all the mixes of the soda pops.
That started here. Yep. You want a cookie? You want a soda? Jesse, you joked one time that was a restaurant idea from a 9-year-old, and I I say that all the time. It's a perfect,
it really is,
summation of a lot of things here. But you guys should come to a show here. That would be.
But you know what? 9-year-olds got great lives.
They got
good
doing
ideas. Their thing.
Yeah,
you know?
we should.
Nothing wrong with that.
To them. Give more credence to the ideas from the 9-year-olds.
Robin, what is your case for the court of Judge Jesse Thorn? That's me.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I'm so excited that you're finally at the helm. I've been listening since 2018, really quick, and
thank you.
I just wanted to thank you both so much for all of your insights and everything you've said on the podcast and in your other podcasts. You've both helped me so much with just being a person and like with my gender and stuff. I just don't know where I would be without. I mean, particularly Jesse, but also, you know, John and Jennifer and Jordan and everybody at Max Fun. You guys are just incredible people, and I'm so grateful
Robin,
for you.
Let's be clear, them to a lesser extent. Right? Like, what would we put that, 60%, maybe?
Let's get real.
Pretty obvious.
Okay, I have kind of a weird question that I know the answer to.
Can I just say thank you, though? Thank you for those nice words. And thank you for
listening. No, thank you. It's such a pleasure to get to share that perspective with you. Also, John, thank you for not doing that impression of Edgar Oliver anymore. Because I don't think he would appreciate it, but it was hilarious.
You don't think that Edgar would appreciate it?
I don't think Edgar Oliver would appreciate an impression of him, but your impression of him was uncanny, and I laughed every time.
I was only doing it because I love him so much. So if I have offended you, Edgar Oliver, I do apologize.
And it was fine. I just thought. Anyway, you know, it's not fun unless everyone's having fun, right? Okay, I have a weird question that I know the answer to, but I just want your thoughts on it. So obviously everybody likes what they like, right? But straightness, right? Like being like a straight person is something that we're all kind of ascribed to all of us, right? It's like something that people assume as like the standard. And so I've been called out for asserting sometimes that a lot of straight people like can be talked out of it, or like that being straight is boring, or seems boring. And people have said that that's, you know, the equivalent of like straight men saying like, oh, well, lesbians just haven't met the right man. And I don't think that's equivalent, but I do think it's kind of a similar kind of a gross thing to like say out loud to people. And I just wanted your thoughts on that. But
that's an interesting question. I mean, first of all, as you pointed out, it's certainly not equivalent because that's not, hegemony doesn't go both directions, right? So the cultural force of straightness in the world is the overwhelming power in this situation, and you know, it's not the same in each direction. However, I do think that it is reasonable to say that there are you know, there are parallels or equivalencies, right? Like,
yeah,
and I think that at the center of that is that when someone is asserting their identity to you, they know better than you do.
yeah,
That's basically like, you know, it's like when people say, you know, it's when people ask me about my kids and their gender identities,
yeah,
and it's like, you know, my answer to it is just sort of like, what am I going to do? Not take their word for it?
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
they're inside them and I'm not.
Yeah,
So, and yeah, I think that it is the place of all people outside of the hegemonic cultural forces to make fun of the the hegemons for being boring.
yeah,
I think that is very reasonable, because that is the definition of like,
Yeah.
being the big majority is fundamentally boring, right?
And by the way, hegemon is an accepted alternative pronunciation of Hodgman. I mean, look at me. Obviously, it is.
yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah, I think that there's room for there's plenty of room for silly jokes. I think that the main touch point that is worth remembering there is making sure that people have autonomy in their own sense of self, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like as a straight dude who uh whose straightness was a mild disappointment to my family. I promise you that I promise you that like having grown up whatever 5 blocks from the Castro, I would have gladly chosen a broader identity had it made sense to me.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, right? So so I think bearing in mind that people know who they are is probably your best bet.
And like I've always said it with lightness and like in jest, right? And I think that is where like it's been kind of a misconception that I've that gets it that anyway. Thank you. That gets it exactly what I was trying to get at. Was like
Yeah.
I really am just making fun of people for being boring. But yeah.
I would add to that, Robin, that when you are able to engage those things with lightness, I think it is beneficial to everyone involved because, you know, one of the things that I realized when my oldest told us she was a girl and she was assigned male at birth, and we had always presumed she was a boy, was how tightly we had held those presumptions about who she was. And it wasn't, you know, I mean, I'd like to think there are cultural forces at hand, but I don't think it was because of bigotry, right? Like I said, my neighbor was trans in 1986, you know?
Yeah.
But like, I realized how tight I was holding on to things that were presumptions, right? And and I think now, you know, like my youngest who identifies as a non-binary girl, like for her, we didn't go into it with those presumptions, and she's 7. She can choose whatever path she wants. You know what I mean? Like, she has, but she only gets to choose that path if we all hold things lightly. So it's like to be respectful is also not to corner people. Like not to feel like everything has to be locked down.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Robin, I know that you're just making a joke, but no one is really boring.
Right. Yeah. Of course. I love
they may have difficulty expressing what makes them interesting.
Right.
I certainly do from time to time.
I don't.
But everyone's complicated and interesting inside. So.
Absolutely.
Speaking of no one being boring, John, it's the Max Fun Drive, and all of the shows in Maximum Fun have created bonus content. For Bullseye, we created some bonus content for members only that I am really proud of. It's called "Hey, What's Your Job?"
Mm-hmm.
And we just typed into our social medias, "Hey, what's your job?" They were collected and collated by the producers of Bullseye, and then they sat down half a dozen people in front of me, digitally, about whom I knew nothing when the screen turned on and we hit record. And I started with, "Hey, what's your name?" and "Hey, what's your job?" and learned about people who, a woman who makes vestments for Japanese Buddhist priests.
Wow.
Which,
yeah.
If you're thinking of the kind of like, when she said, she didn't say what kind of Buddhist vestments she made when, at the very start. And I assumed it was those kind of like saffron colored robes that some Buddhist priests wear, but actually Japanese Buddhist priests wear kimono with like big giant sleeves that go practically down to the ground and all these different things. We had, there was a great apprentice electrician who's in his 40s, just became an apprentice electrician recently. He told us all the different names that the different tradespeople call other trades. So if you want to find out what electricians call plumbers, that's the way to do it. Somebody that lives like deep underground, trying to discover dark matter. A guy who puts all day, his job is to put labels on records. And it turns out that when you put labels on records, there is no glue involved. Which blew my mind.
Yeah.
How do they stick?
Where's the
pressure?
Oh, wow.
Oh, how about that?
Isn't that bananas?
Yeah.
So all kinds of cool people. The city manager of Weed, California. We talked about their city name licensing program.
Yeah. Great city in America.
So yeah, we go to MaximumFun.org/join, and if you're already a member, do listen to that because I'm really proud of it. I think it's really, really fun. I actually listened back to it, which
people are totally loving it in the chat. Robin, thank you so much for joining us from Salt Lake City.
You're so welcome. I upgraded my membership because you got me with that bucket hat and the Maximum bag. So thank you.
The Maximum bag is very funny, and it's a really good big bag.
I was in the middle of listening to the JJ Go bonus episode with Ben Harrison and you said today we're doing this. And I was like, oh my god, and popped over here. So thank you guys.
Awesome,
Robin. Thank you for sharing some time with us, and thank you very much for being a member. I really appreciate it.
Thank you guys. It's been a...
We have I didn't mean to cut Robin off there, but thank you very much, Robin. Yeah.
As Robin mentioned, we've been doing live George Jesse Goes every morning at 9:30 Pacific, 12:30 Eastern. So go follow the Jordan Jesse Go socials if you want to watch those. Ben Harrison joined us this morning. It was very nice to see him.
I came to Max Fun for JJ Ho. I stayed for Feeling Seen, Secretly Incredibly Fascinating, Free with Ads, and Bullseye. Thank you, Neliosaurus. And I also wanted to point out that Ron, aka Melee Conure, just joined for the very first time. Thank you, Ron, for being here.
Thank you, Ron. Yeah, if you join, make sure and mention it in the chat so that we can thank you.
Yeah.
Because we would love to do that.
And we have one more person to talk to here named Raul. Raul, are you available to speak with us?
Oh, wow.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is this a good time? Yes or no?
Yes, it is a good time.
Great.
I wasn't expecting this.
Oh,
Sorry.
no, I'm sorry. Did you fall asleep, hit the keyboard, and then accidentally inserted you into the waiting room?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, it's really nice to see you. I'm John Hodgman. Here is your judge for the day, Jesse Thorn, and our producer, Jennifer Marmer. Raul, where are you dialing in from, and what's your question?
I'm from Mexico. I'm from Chihuahua.
Oh,
like
wow.
the dog.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesse knows a thing about a Chihuahua.
Yeah, I got one. I got one in my house and 7,000 in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't be nervous because everyone in the chat is ready for Raul's vibe. We're all feeling it, Raul.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. So are you just calling to say hi, or did you have a dispute or a question or?
Well,
comment?
I was thinking about it because I joined the bit.ly link, but and I said because of what you were talking with the other guys. So,
maybe you joined the Bitly link thinking you would just watch. You didn't realize that you could be put in at any moment.
Yeah, precisely.
Oh, no. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Well,
but
I
was thinking like if I had something to debate about, and then I have this recent thing coming. I'm just returning from Mexico City. I went to a music festival in there, and then I saw like some comments on Twitter about that music festival, and then I saw someone like complaining about. I don't know if you ever been into a concert and when the people get really excited, they start to throw things away. And
Sure.
But I mean, I think it's part of the situation you are involved. You know, like I mean, I don't like when people throw things at me generally, but when you are in a concert, well, it's part of the situation you are involved. So, what do you think about? Do you think that it's not okay to throw like beer during a concert, or is it okay to do that?
Who was playing?
Oh, I went to see Kendrick Lamar on Saturday, and on Sunday I saw LCD Sound System.
LCD Sound System.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about throwing beer, you know, I only go to chamber music concerts. When you're talking about throwing beer,
early music concerts, if there's no loot, I'm out of there.
Yeah, that's right.
If there are no oboes in there.
Yeah, if there are no oboes, I'm out.
Yeah. I'm a big oboe guy.
Yeah, exactly. Give me the double reeds, mate.
But specifically.
But if you're at a concert where they're throwing beer, you're talking about throwing a can of beer or just the liquid?
No, like you have your plastic glass of beer,
plastic
and
cup.
then it's your plastic
and you just
cup.
throw it. Okay.
And then you are just like jumping, and then a lot of people, you know,
Excitement.
like throw. Yeah, exactly.
Excitement. All right, Jesse Thorn, what do you think about that? You're the judge.
Well, I had a firsthand experience with this. Me and my friends had just gotten our band back together, and our first gig was at a place in Illinois called Bob's Country Bunker.
I think you're making an obscure cultural reference, Jesse.
Yeah. So that's just the story of the film The Blues Brothers.
That's part of it.
Somebody in the chat, by the way, just asked what are Graham and Dave like in real life. The answer is exactly like they are on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You're never quite sure whether Dave is picking on you, and Graham is the sweetest guy in the world. But actually, they're both the sweetest guy in the world.
They're both very sweet.
Mm-hmm. Wow, Raul, I'm gonna find against you here. I think it is fun to throw things and have fun at shows. It is fun to jump up and down. It can be fun to even bump into other people and all of those kinds of things. And I would even say that it's fun to throw water. But I would not say that it's fun to throw beer. I think beer is simply too gross, especially because I really don't think there's any reason to be throwing beer at the Kendrick Lamar or LCD Sound System show. These are not very punk rock performances. There's no one signed up to be gross. in the way that they might have if they were going to certain other types of music where banging into each other or being gross are central to the experience, and everybody signed up for it.
Too sticky for Jesse is what they're saying here, right?
Ultimately, I'm going to say too sticky for me. But on the other hand, by the time some concert gets to the Kendrick Lamar LCD sound system, traveling to Mexico City scale of concert, I'm out anyway, because I don't want to fucking stand around in the sun for the worst sound live concert experience you can have.
Do you say it's the age limit to do that?
Yeah, I think the age limit, to me, the age limit is it's a experience that stretches from age 17 to age 21.
Oh my!
I think if you're a senior in college, you shouldn't be doing that. It's just not worth it. Not fucking worth it.
Jesse,
way overpassed that.
Go see the same bands in their own concerts where you get to see their whole sets in a much closer up, and you get to really enjoy the thing. And you're not drunk in the sun.
Were people throwing things at the River Bottom Nightmare band show? I don't know what this is a reference to, Jesse. Do you?
No, this is too obscure for me.
Too obscure. Well, thank you, Raul. Thank you for joining us. Sorry to put you on the spot, but everyone enjoyed seeing you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you,
and we appreciate your being a listener there in Chihuahua.
Yeah.
And I haven't been to Mexico City yet. Jesse went with his mom instead. That's the way it goes. But I'll get down there and we'll say hello.
You can come with me next time if you want to, John.
We're going to do a Judge John Hodgman show, and you're going to throw a beer on us.
Yeah, you should do a show over there.
You can throw a beer at me if you want. You can throw a beer at me if you want. Yes. I'd love that.
Nice.
I'd love that. What's your favorite beer?
It's a local Mexican beer called Indio.
Can't wait to get a bottle smacked in my face from the third row.
I'm not a good.
Promise me, Raul.
My aim is not good, so.
All right, then just aim it at Jesse, and it'll hit me for sure.
Okay. All right.
Take care. We do have one other person in the waiting room before we sign off, because it's getting to be nighttime here in the East Coast. Nicole, I'm speaking to you right now. Give me 2 thumbs up if you would like to be in the show, or are you just watching? 2 thumbs up from Nicole. Here's 2 thumbs up from Nicole.
Famous Nicole.
Oh, this is Irony Maiden. Nicole, what are your pronouns?
She, her. Thank you for asking.
This is Irony Maiden herself. Namer of many great Judge John Hodgman pun titles. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. I decided to show my face, so I would be a face and not just a handle.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm starstruck here.
I know. Incredible. I mean, all of the people who submit the titles are incredible. Like when we ask for title requests on the Maximum Fun subreddit, it's so much fun to see what you all are getting up to in there. It's awfully hard.
The subreddit is a lot of fun.
It's not uncommon that I'll be like, can we do 2 or 3 of them? And maybe we will in the future. I don't know. Maybe we will. But it's really terrific to see that little community there. And I hope that I'm very grateful for your contributions to the show.
Thank you very much. I specifically joined Reddit for you guys. And then a few days ago, I specifically joined Twitch for you guys.
Wow.
So you keep signing me up to social media platforms
now
that I'm not particularly interested in being on, but here I am.
Now here's the question.
Yeah.
Did you specifically join Maximum Fun?
I did.
Yeah.
Jennifer knows.
Yes, Jennifer knows.
I did.
I had all faith that I knew what the answer to that was going to be. This is a great person to end this on, Nicole. Stand by just for a second. I want to point out some wonderful comments that we had here because Jesse asked. So,
sure.
Connie. Hi, Connie. Nice to see you again.
Joined
finally last weekend. Thank you, and can't wait for my JJ Ho pin to arrive to make everybody feel jealous. Absolutely, your dogs are going to be so jealous of you, Connie, walking around with a lapel pin.
Mm-hmm. Connie wants us to come to San Luis Obispo. You don't throw me in the briar patch. That's what I have to say about that.
That's where I was born and bred.
Oh man, just hanging out and chilling in the slow. Come on,
Giovanni Sanchez boosted their membership earlier this week. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Giovanni. And Prof points out I wouldn't put it past LCC sound system to include an oboe too. Fair enough.
Sure.
Yeah.
Fair enough. It's the Max Fun Drive. I'm John Hodgman. I pointed the right way this time. Right over there is Jesse Thorn. Down there is Jennifer Marmer. Jennifer's the producer of the show. Jesse is the co-creator and co-host of the show with me, John Hodgman. It makes us so proud and happy to make the show for you week after week, every week. We make roughly 52 shows a year, but only 2 weeks out of the year do we ever mention how the show gets made. And that's because it gets made by Jesse and Jennifer, our editor, AJ, our video editor, Daniel, our social media person, Natty, and formerly Marie. So many other people behind the scenes make Judge John Hodgman, and they're all employed gainfully and with benefits thanks to the other big collaborator of the show, which is you, the listener supporters of Maximum Fun. And this is the time of year when we say, hey, if you are not already a member or have been putting it off for whatever reason, or if you just started listening and didn't realize that this is how we make the show go, please go over to MaximumFun.org/join and please become a member. Even at $5 a month is massively helpful to help us not only fund the show, because about 70% of all of our operating income is contributed by you, our listeners, but also for us to plan ahead and to pay all these wonderful people to make the show go. That's what I had to say about that. Now, anything you want to add, Jesse Thorn, before we get to Nicole's? Do you have a dispute or a question, Nicole, or are you just saying?
I have no beef. I just wanted to say hi, and I know you guys have to go, so I decided to sneak in at the end.
I appreciate that.
Thank you, Nicole.
Yeah.
Where are you calling from aside from that incredible nook of your house with that wonderful bay window that everyone's talking about?
This isn't my house. This is my office.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I couldn't sign on until my boss had left for the day because he kept coming in and saying things to me. So,
brother.
Yeah, I was ruining my vibe. I am in my office. I am in Nyack, New York.
Nyack, New York. We're an East Coast pal.
Yes, absolutely.
Wonderful.
I am approximately 45 minutes north of Midtown Manhattan.
I thought you were going to pick some random spot. Like, I'm approximately 45 minutes north of Squeaky Chair, New York. No, that's wonderful.
If the squeaky chair is Midtown, then yes.
How dare these bosses interrupt our judgment time? I know it's not fair. It's not fair. Bosses are going to boss until 5 p.m. I got to say, it is so great that that you are our bosses. You are Nicole. And you, every one of you who is a member listener of Maximum Fun, you're the boss. You're the greatest bosses in the world to work for, because not only do you allow us to make something for you that we love, but we get to spend time with you. We get to meet you week after week on the air of the Judge John Hodgman show. And I don't mind telling you, I'm a much, much better and better informed and, frankly, Robin, less boring person because of all of the perspectives that you've shared with me over more than now 12 years of doing Judge John Hodgman. Best bosses. I'm going to get you all mugs that say best bosses. Actually, we should do that for next Max Fun Drive. Do you know what I mean? Number one boss mugs, because the listeners are the bosses. And if it weren't for you, we wouldn't get to make the show. MaximumFun.org/join. Right, Jesse?
Absolutely. We're over 11,000 members, boosting, upgrading, newly joining at MaximumFun.org/join. 11,131 is the last I saw. We've only got I guess we got about 50, 60 hours left in the Max Fun Drive. So Don't put it off. Just go ahead and do it. It's MaximumFun.org/join. The good news is not only will you get thank you gifts and bonus content, also every time you listen, you'll know that you're part of it, right? You'll know that that's something that you're doing, that you are making our show possible. And that is a really great feeling. Take it from me, a guy who, I support a lot of the media that I love directly. And every time I listen, for example, to my favorite baseball podcast, Effectively Wild, I know that they don't have to take sports gambling ads because me and my fellow listeners are supporting them directly.
Can I tell you how happy I am? There are a lot of things that make me happy about Judge John Hodgman, but one of the things that makes me very, very happy is that I've never had to do a live read of an ad about trimming one's pubic hair.
Now, John, I've done a fair amount of that on Jordan Jesse Go, a venue in which it is
No offense.
entirely
No
appropriate.
offense. It's got to get done. It's got to get done.
Yeah.
But
Otherwise,
it would make me a little uncomfortable. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's a terrific product. Do you know what I mean?
I enjoy it.
Yeah. But I'm
My
glad
favorite is listening to the Doughboys talk about trimming their pubic hair, which is
it's an image that I don't want.
Right.
And it's a service that I
real
don't
life
need.
Friends. Yeah.
But I mean, I am also glad that I've never had to read a disclaimer about, if you have a gambling addiction, call this hotline.
Right.
We do have ads, but we get to be selective about the ads that we run. I get to read ads for products that I really enjoy, because that's not where the money's coming from. The money's coming from the listeners, and that's why
nobody ever destroyed their life with high quality cookware.
Yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's between Ron and Elizabeth Regan down there. Ron might have gotten beamed with a frying pan, is what I'm saying. Might have gotten beamed with a frying pan, maybe a little ding. Never mind. Anyway, sorry about that. All right.
MaximumFun.org/join.
MaximumFun.org/join. Nicole, is there anything you want to say before we take off? It's really nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too.
I mean, it's true. Like lots of time, and it's not just you. Lots of times in the wild, I'll be out there and someone will say, "I'm this person from the podcast," or "I'm that person from the podcast," and I'll be very candid with you. I would say 7 times out of 8, I need some reminding. And then, but because it's just my brain is gone.
Yeah, no, my brain is the same.
But when I get that reminding, I'm like, oh, it's so great to meet you. It's always, I just know that I'm wandering through this world full of friends that I've talked to, and who knows when they're going to approach me in an airport or a public space. The one thing I don't like is when I wake up in the middle of the night and they're standing over me watching me sleep. Please don't do that.
I'm sorry. I mean,
no, Nicole. Look, we've been through it, and it's fine now. It was fine. It was, yeah. But I mean, there's almost, there was an early Judge John Hodgman ruling where I was like, don't take pictures with famous people, because they're humans, not scenery. And I stand by it. Like, I'll do a photo or whatever, but but it is absolutely great to go up to someone who has impacted your life, affected your life, and say, "Hey, you made my life a little bit better. Thank you for the work you do." And everyone enjoys that. And I've been so touched by that when people come up to me about that, to say that about Judge John Hodgman. And I'd just like to say back to all the member listeners, hey, you've made my life better. Thank you. And I appreciate your support. MaximumFun.org/join is where you can offer that support if you haven't done so already. And I don't know what there is to say about that other than, hey, Jesse got a cool hat on all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's my fresh air hat I got for directly supporting my favorite public radio show.
There we go.
Very good.
There we go. All right, so
/join. We love you all.
Tomorrow morning, let's just say now, tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 a.m. Eastern, over at the Maximum Fun HQ YouTube channel, you can watch Jesse and Jordan's live stream.
Yep.
Tomorrow morning and I hate to counter program. I didn't realize this was happening. So you can bounce between or open 2 windows, but I'll be doing Get Your Pets here at noon Eastern tomorrow, here on wherever you're watching this right now. And so if you've got a pet, Connie, bring those dogs back. You know what I'm talking about, Connie? Bring the San Luis Obispo dogs back. Get all your pets, and there'll be a bit.ly, and I'll put it in the chat, and you can all join. We can talk to your pets. And then on Friday, the last day of the Max Fun Drive, among all the other exciting things that are going to happen on Friday, check your local listings. Jordan Morris and I are going to be right here, and I believe on the Max Fun HQ YouTube channel, destroying our mouths with the hottest cheeses on earth. It's going to be hot cheese.
I'm so excited.
A special episode, Shooting the Breeze, hot cheese edition. I'm literally going to warm up some of this cheese too. So it's going to be terrific. And I'm going to be doing it all. Never mind. That's too personal. It's going to be great. The Max Fun Drive continues. Thank you, Jennifer Marmer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole, aka Irony Maiden. Thank you, all the listeners. Jesse Thorn. Someone wanted to say, this person put this in. Jeff Ellis had 2 questions. 1, favorite thing about Hodgman, be specific. 2, what's my favorite thing about you? I don't know. I don't want to burst into tears right now. So do you want to talk about it later?
Sure.
All right. We'll talk about it later. Thanks for asking, Jeff.
With
but
our
I love
respective therapists.
Yeah, I love you, Jesse. I'll talk to you later, okay?
Love you too, bud.
Bye-bye.